Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob with Instinct Bassin. Hey, I want to talk about a situation that can ruin a fishing trip very quickly. So imagine you get up to go fishing and it's dark, it's early in the morning, you get up, you get on the road, you get to go fishing, you're about halfway there, and boom, you get a flat tire on your trailer. So not only is this going to at least delay your fishing trip by a little bit, you could be putting yourself in a potentially dangerous situation because now you have to change a flat tire on the side of the road, maybe on the highway in the dark. And so this situation happened to me pretty recently. On the way back from a fishing trip, I got a flat tire on my trailer. Luckily, I have a dual axle, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I was able to pull over, get it swapped out with my spare. I went ahead and came home, ordered another spare, and then once it came in, I went out on another fishing trip, and then the same thing happened on the way home the next time. And at this point, I'm thinking something's got to be wrong with either the trailer or the tires or potentially both. And so I needed to look into the situation. And so that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to discuss ways to prevent this situation from occurring and then ways to combat it if it actually does occur and things you can do to help stay safe on the road and be prepared for it if it does happen. I want to encourage you to check out the GPSstore.com. It's a great time to purchase marine electronics, and they're one of the best places on the web to look for those types of deals. They have some great deals going on package deals where they can put together a fish finder plus a live scope for you and get you a good discount on it. So make sure to check them out, GPSstore.com. They got 1-day shipping on a lot of items, 2-day shipping on even more. They're based here in the US, and they're just a great bunch of people to work with. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So as you're probably aware, boat prices are going through the roof right now. You've got boat packages that are easily over $100,000 in some cases, sometimes even more. And so what that's done is driven a lot of people, myself included, to purchase a used boat. Now I currently have, it's a mess right now, but I currently have a 2006 Triton TR196, and then my trailer is a 2012. And so a lot of people may be in this situation where they've gotten a good deal on a used boat instead of buying, a new boat for $100,000. The problem with this is that a lot of people neglect, myself included, neglect the age of the tires on the trailer on that used package. So that's one thing we got to make sure we check out is how old these tires are. And I'm going to show you a quick way to do that. And so when I recently got some new trailer tires, one of the biggest things that all the tire store owners that I checked into at least told me was that the biggest reason for failure with trailer tires is the age of them. It's not necessarily that they're bald or that they're underinflated or anything like that. It's just how old the trailer tires are. And so my trailer, like I said, is a 2012. And frankly, this is just an area that I neglected to check when I bought the boat and until recently when I started having these issues. And so I went back and I looked and found out how to tell how old a trailer tire is. And what I found out was that some trailer tires that I had were over 10 years old. And any trailer tire that you have should be replaced approximately every 4 to 6 years. So you want to make sure you look at that and replace any tires that are older than that. And I'm going to show you how to check the age of the tires right now. You'll have what's called a if you look for the words on the tire, the DOT, which I guess stands for Department of Transportation, there's going to be a 4-digit code after that. The first 2 digits are going to be the week of that year. So for instance, if the first 2 digits are, say, a 12, then it's going to be the 12th week. And then the last 2 digits are going to be the year. So if you had, for instance, a tire that says 0223 on it, then that tire was manufactured on the 2nd week of the year 2023. And so that's the situation that I was in. I had some tires on my trailer that I didn't even realize were over 10 years old. And that's certainly one of the main reasons why they failed. So be sure to check that out and replace any tires that are over that 4 to 6 year old range. And the next thing you want to do is check out and just make sure you got the right size tires. Now this obviously applies more to if you're buying a used boat with a used trailer than it would if you're buying a whole new package, and spending that $100,000. I'm going to assume that it probably has the right size tires on it if you're spending that amount of money, but it's still not a bad idea to check. So every trailer is going to come with a sticker on it, a little decal that's going to show you what size tire and what pressure and what load rating, etc., that you're going to need for that trailer. Usually it's going to be on the tongue, but it could also be in the middle somewhere. Just make sure you locate that sticker, particularly if you're looking at an older boat. or older trailer, that is, and make sure that those tires are either current or at least you know that they're old and you know they need to be replaced. And factor that into the price that you're looking at, because tires can run over $100 easily for a single tire. So for instance, on my boat requires, according to the sticker, ST, which means trailer tires, 215 75R 14s. Now I'm not going to go into what all those numbers mean right now. You can look that up yourself. That's pretty regularly available. But in any case, my boat actually had on them ST 205s instead of 215s. Without going into too much detail, what that basically means is at the same pressure and at the same load rating, those 205s were not going to hold as much weight as the 215s were, just because they're not as wide of a tire. And so that's something to definitely make sure that you have the right size tires for that trailer. And one thing that I did is, when I had a couple of flat tires, I just bought the same size tire again, thinking that the right one was on there. And so I essentially wasted a couple $100 buying tires that weren't even the right size to replace those with. So make sure you got the right size tire on there. One of the mistakes that I made at the beginning of the season, because I didn't want to get flat tires, was I underinflated them by a little bit. And this is really the exact opposite of what you want to do. So when you underinflate a tire, you're actually making that tire heat up faster than it would if it was set to the proper pressure. And so when that tire heats up faster, that's going to make it fail quicker. So you definitely want to make sure that you not only have the right size tires, but that you're inflating them to the proper PSI. And that's that recommended PSI that's on either your trailer tire or on the trailer itself. Okay, and now let's go over some things to think about if you do run into this situation. So in other words, let's be prepared for this situation should it occur. One is going to be make sure you at least have a spare tire, either on your trailer, which I have, or in your tow vehicle. Say if you don't have a double axle and you don't have a place to store a spare tire on your trailer, at least keep one in your truck bed or even in the back of the car, or whatever you need to do, just in case you need to change a tire on the side of the road on your way fishing or on the way back from fishing. Also, make sure you got the necessary tools you need to change the tire. It's not going to do you any good to have a spare tire if you can't change it. So that includes making sure you have the proper size wrench or proper size socket for those lug nuts. Now, I just happen to keep in my boat a big socket wrench that's the right size. Make sure that the spare is the same size as the tires, or make sure you have the two sizes that you need. And then make sure you either have a jack or some way to lift the boat up to change that tire. Now, one of the things that I bought, because I have a dual axle trailer, is this guy right here. Hopefully I'm pointing that out, yeah. So what this allows me to do is basically just roll the good wheel up onto this, which will lift the other wheel off enough in order and allow me to change the tire. It's much quicker than having to use a jack, or do like what I had to do a couple times, which was use my truck jack. It works in a pinch, but this was much quicker. I was able to change a tire in less than 10 minutes on the side of the road. And really, especially if you're on a highway like I was, the least amount of time you can be in that situation, the better. You got big semis running past you and all kinds of things. Those are some things to keep in mind. It's a great time to get out and fish, even though it is summertime and it's getting hot. If you are going to go out, I did a video recently on 3 lures that I definitely recommend fishing this early in the summer, and you can check out that video right here. I certainly would appreciate it. Again, this is Rob with Instinct Bassin. Trust your gut, and I'll see you on the water.